Hey guys, welcome back to Football Ninja. I'm your host Amit. Joining me today is Mr. Karthik. Hello Karthik, how are you?
Hey Amit, I'm good. How are you?
Doing great, Karthik. Let's talk about football then.
Yeah, as usual.
Not a lot happening when it comes to clubs, but a lot happening in UEFA Nations League. Which was your favorite game, Karthik?
Uh, I want to say Belgium versus England, but I'm gonna go with the thrashing 6-0 by Spain to Germany. What do you feel about that one?
I think talking about the first game, as you said, Belgium versus England, my favorite moment of the game was Lukaku saving
Oh
that
yeah.
amazing goal line save that he did. He just looks like a different person altogether now, a different player, more intense, more into.
He looks more hardworking to be
Yeah,
honest,
yeah.
So he I mean obviously that also comes because you're playing for your country, and you want to get into the finals of the Nations League. So that might be that, but then he definitely looks like not the Lukaku that we
Yeah, we
knew
saw
in
him.
United. So
Correct.
he's probably more matured now, more aged, but yeah.
And going to the game, as you said, Spain versus Germany, a hat trick by Ferran Torres. I think a couple of good City kids did well in this. I think Foden did well,
Yeah, he's
though he
good.
did not. Though he did not. I think the goal that we wanted to see was that deflection that he did, but then
Yeah.
it did not happen. But then, and on the other side, he's scoring a hat trick. How was that for you?
So, Foden, as I've always said, I'm a fan of him. He's an amazing kid, hardworking kid. He's got some tricks up his sleeve, and then he's scored some really good goals. Two goals. Ferran Torres. To be honest, haven't seen much of him. Even in City, he hasn't played a lot yet. To really judge him, but he definitely turned up. Against Germany. Also, a lot of his goals also came from a lot of good play from Spain. Except the last one, that was a really good finish from him. But yeah, I think it's a good that looks good for City. Two youngsters performing well.
And moving to the France game, Giroud again showing his class. I think he's 7 short of touching the record
Equaling,
of the highest goal scorer for France. What about him? Do you think he'll stay in Chelsea now?
It's difficult, to be very honest, because you already have Tammy and Werner playing. So it's a little difficult, if I can say that. But there is still a chance, because Pulisic has been injured a lot. Since the last season, again, he's injured again now. And Tammy and Werner start together. Werner playing on the left wing, so there is still a chance, that he might come into the play. But then it's difficult, and I've always found him pretty underrated. He's a pretty good striker. So he would definitely, I think, if not in the winter transfer window, he will probably definitely would leave in the next window.
And what about the statement which Pogba made, Karthik? That kind of stirred up a lot of United fans. I don't think so. There was a lot of negativity in the statement, but the way it was taken was a problem. What do you say about that?
See, we know there is something wrong, and we've spoken about this, right? About the Pogba situation at United. It's not the best, and he's also not now. At least under Ole, he's been playing a bit, but his performances have dipped. You can say Corona or injuries or whatever, but then if you see as a player, his performances have dipped, no matter what. So, and I think it's probably time for him to move to a different club. I don't know what his next destination would be. He could probably return to Juventus or Real Madrid, if they still want him. But then it basically sounds like that he's ready to move on. And we also saw what he said last summer, where he said that he's ready for a new challenge.
But I think it's a little unfair to Pogba. It's not just him playing bad; it's the entire team playing bad,
Yeah.
and just singling out him. We understand. You can see the kind of morale that the team has, especially the Man United team has right now, and he saying what he said. He was just trying to probably say it feels good in a team where they're playing as a team, as a unit, and especially the game which they won. They were one nil behind, and then they came up and they won the game. As a team, I feel he's much happier in a situation where the entire team is contributing, probably playing with better chemistry, which is not happening obviously in United right now. But do you think this statement again is taken in a bad taste by a lot of people?
I mean, it is, but then if you talk about performances, I think it also comes from the value that United paid for him. He's still the highest paid United player. They paid 90 million for him, so I think that also comes from that, like similar to Maguire, right?
Yeah,
If
I
Maguire,
was about to say that.
if Maguire costed 20 million, he wouldn't have been criticized this much because because they paid 80 million. He's been criticized, and I think it's the same with Pogba as well. But I think if Pogba goes, if he ends up going, I think one good thing would be at least Van de Beek gets his chance. Right now, it's it's a little difficult for him. But yeah, let's see what happens.
And moving from these games, Karthik, let's go to Premier League back. Let's talk about injuries. Currently, Liverpool has 9 of them. I think Man United also has 9, and Man City has 5. So, do you think that the current scenario, especially the Premier League teams, they obviously have more domestic games to play, and I think Premier League is the only league right now in the entire top 5 leagues in Europe to have 3 substitutes.
Yeah, I think it's only because we just saw EFL, they allowing 5 substitutions now.
Yep.
So EPL remains the only thing. But I was just reading a bit about it, and they might go back to 5 substitutions, but that still remains a question. Because smaller clubs, the smaller clubs would still
Have a problem.
still have a problem, right? Because that's probably their only chance. But then. Talking about injuries, I think Liverpool cannot even afford 5 substitutions, right?
Yeah, and if you see, so my question to you was in terms of how much do you think is that 3 substitution contributing to these injuries, increasing in Premier League?
I mean, it is, right, because you see the number of games have increased drastically because of the shorter time period they have to fit in all the games. They did not get a break. They got a very, very short break. A lot of teams did not even have a pre-season. To get that going. So I think it affects a lot. That break especially is very important, which they did not get. So I mean, moving to 5 substitutions would definitely help, especially the big clubs, because they have to keep winning if they have to have a chance. But I would say even if it is 3, it's fair to everybody, right? I mean, but thinking about the players, I think they should go for 5 substitutions.
And talking about sticking to Liverpool now, I think Salah is now tested positive for
Again,
COVID.
yeah.
And then there is a game coming against Leicester now. That looks like a difficult game for Liverpool now.
Yeah, I mean, see, Salah's missing. Van Dijk, we know, is missing. There's Thiago missing. There's Henderson missing. There is Trent Alexander missing. There is Andy Robertson missing. I'm sure I'm also missing somebody to name there. But yeah, I mean, it definitely looks difficult. I think the only player, probably the only 2 players that could save them are Mane and Alisson, who probably have their shoulders heavy now because because of the loss of these. But I think there's Jota, who is fitting really well. Shaqiri will get his chance definitely. Shaqiri and Jota have been playing really well together. So at least their attack is not affected. I think Joe Gomez is also injured, if I'm not wrong. So they're top defenders. So I think Matip is the only defender or the first team defender who would be there, and they probably Neto Williams could fill in the right wing, who's played a couple of games, and then I think Milner would come in. He can play anywhere. You ask him to play.
And there's a lot of news going about Milner being the imposter.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that. It's kind of funny. But then, Agent Milner working for Pep. It's funny. But yeah, let's see how that goes. It definitely looks difficult, but Liverpool being Liverpool, I don't know. They can still go ahead and win it.
Yeah, I think, but then it'll be a good game. Looking at it, it looks like the defense side of, apart from Allison, obviously, it looks like a old Liverpool side now. Let's see how well Liverpool can take care of Vardy. That is something that we would see. And moving to news coming from Chelsea, Karthik. Frank Lampard just made a statement about the early Saturday fixtures, especially after the international break. Not really happy with it. He's talking about how this would lower the standard of Premier League. What do you think about that?
See, I mean, definitely, now the players have traveled. So a lot of people have traveled, right? So now that definitely, you travel back, you hardly get a day or two to train, get back with your team, and that definitely would affect the chemistry. I mean, you would say. We saw Ole talking about a similar thing, when they had a Saturday fixture after a midweek late fixture against Everton, but they still beat Everton. But that sort of there's that fatigue that comes into play, and that leads to injuries again. So yeah, I totally understand Lampard making that statement. And I think it's new for everybody. Nobody knows what's happening. So unless this becomes the new normal, it's gonna take a bit of time. I think this season is gonna be a lot of ups and downs for all the clubs. But yeah, that's how it is.
There's one more way of looking at this statement. I think Chelsea has surprisingly bad record away at Newcastle. I think in the past 7 games they have lost 5.
Yeah.
And do you think this is one of that reasons?
I hope not. I hope they can, but there's definitely that if you've already made that statement, you can go back to that. See, I told you. But difficult game, like you said, but cannot help it. Fixtures are
early fixture Saturday. Your prediction? I think we have already spoken about it in the previous podcast, but now looking at it, your predictions are on.
It's gonna be a tough one. I would still say Chelsea would win, but 2-1 maybe. That sort of thing. I think 2-1 should be fine.
Yeah. News coming from Barcelona, Karthik, ahead of Atletico Barcelona, that header happening. Messi unhappy. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think after that saga that happened, I don't think he was happy. And then I also read somewhere where some insiders said that they were not happy that Messi ended up staying at Barcelona.
Yeah.
So not sure what's going on there. He also came out and said that he's not happy, that any problem that happens at Barcelona they pin it on him.
Yes.
Right. So definitely, I mean, it's tough, but he's become that figure now where you think of Barcelona, he's the first player that would come to mind. If somebody doesn't watch football, he knows Messi plays for Barcelona, right? So he's become that, and he cannot help it. But I probably think it's time up for him. We probably could see him in City now. Guardiola also has extended his contract.
We are going there. But do you think Messi has become from goat to the best escape goat for Barcelona for any mistake?
I mean, yeah, probably. I think that might be, but I mean, you cannot take away what he is.
Yeah, true. Going to Pep Guardiola, signed a 2-year new contract. What does this imply for City's future now? Do you think Messi is going there now?
Maybe. I would hope so, especially with the another news where Ronaldo might come back to United.
Yeah.
So if that happens, I want Messi to be in City. That's going to be a good competition again. But then, yeah, it may be. He would love to play under Pep again, probably. And and I mean, I don't need to speak about City's attack much, but
Yeah.
I cannot. I mean, if he ends up coming, I cannot wait to see De Bruyne and Messi teaming up for those passes and those goals too.
And then especially who would take the free kick?
Yeah.
Those would be a difficult fight. But talking about Pep Guardiola, Karthik, now this makes is the longest serve at any club right now.
I think it will be 7 years now.
Yeah, I think he would be there till 2023 now. Especially, I think they took this international break time to pin down a new contract for him.
Yeah.
What do you think? What challenges do you think he faces now, especially this resurgence of Liverpool happening, and then there are these clubs coming in, like Chelsea getting stronger now, getting good players in, Arsenal trying to be there. But yes, but then now you can't just wave them off. You have to play good against them.
I mean, see, Premier League is always going to be difficult. It's not going to be as, I don't want to use the word easy, but it's not going to be
Predictable is
predictable as the other leagues
Yeah.
are, right? So, and Barcelona and Bayern Munich where it's managed earlier. But Premier League is always going to be tough. You never know. I mean, we don't know this season who's going to win the league.
Yeah, true.
If I should go by the form now, I think Aston Villa is winning the league this time.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, let's see what he has in store. He's probably been there. I'm most successful manager in those 5 years, but it's good to see him. He's an amazing coach. There's no doubt about that. So it's good to have such people in the Premier League, and I'm sure in the seasons to come we'll see more good coaches coming in. A lot of people want to test themselves in the Premier League now, so we'll probably see a lot more coming in.
Also, adding to what you said, I think he is now the most successful City coach ever.
Yeah.
And I think that's why, and I think the team that he has kind of built around him, the entire team that players that he has gotten. So let's see what happens.
Another quick point, right? I mean, if you get a new manager, he wants more players.
Yeah. So
Another point, right? If you get a new manager, you gotta get some new players, and you have to get rid of the ones that you have, because every manager wants their
Correct,
players
yeah.
to come in, right? And they have a different style of play. So that, I think, is also a factor. Probably in 2 years, you would see Aguero leave. You would probably, I mean, if they don't win Champions League this season, you would probably see De Bruyne leave. Sane has already left. So, let's see.
and City this time playing against Spurs. Kane just made an amazing statement. He was applauding Jose Mourinho's tactics, especially they want to do, or they will do anything to win that silverware. And I think we also know how tactically good manager he is. What do you think his contribution is, and what do you take this statement of Kane?
The only thing I like about Mourinho, what he's done with Kane is he's made him more like a playmaker, and I've said this before as well, and not leave him as an out-and-out striker, because his I think being a striker, he's there. He gets into those positions, but also coming back and playing as a playmaker for Son, I think has worked really, really well for Spurs, and especially now also Bale coming in. If he gets into form, I think that will even further improve that gameplay that they're trying to play, and you can see that change, right? I think that was probably a change that was needed. No disrespect to Pochettino, but probably they sort of needed that to happen to for that play well. Or I also see a slight difference in how Mourinho plays. They are more attacking than they are sort of defending this time, so probably some sort of a change from him as well. But he's doing great.
And so what are your predictions on this game, Karthik?
I'm gonna go with 1-1. I'm gonna go with a draw.
Especially with Mourinho, high stake games, he would go more defensive or just try to get that win at the end. But then he's happy with the 1-1 draw. That's what we always see. Some news coming from transfer window, Karthik. Apparently, United is targeting Varane.
For the nth time.
But I don't think so. It's the right time for targeting Varane right now. your take on it?
I mean, you should, that's the problem. I think the targeting is the problem. You should target probably defenders like Upamecano, right? But
which apparently officially United has given that. So that might also be happening.
I mean, do you really want to believe that unless that happens? Because, I don't know. Varane, but I don't know, dude, if he's a good option.
Currently,
he's not a bad defender, but right now he's, 30? Probably 29, 27.
No, I'm just talking about the current form that he's in. He gave off a lot of penalties in the last game.
So, that's let's hope that for the club's sake that doesn't happen. But yeah, you never know.
And so especially when it comes to United, you really can't just go with any
Yeah.
rumors that come in. As you said earlier in this podcast, apparently Ronaldo was coming in, so or will play with Messi alongside Messi. You never know. The last thing that I want to discuss right now is I want to talk about Grealish right now. I think Grealish is right now for me the best left winger in Premier League. What do you think about it?
Definitely, right? I mean, you see Aston Villa playing, the goals they score, you see some involvement from Grealish, right? More or less here and there. He is involved. We saw his performance against England. There was no game where he performed bad.
Correct.
you
Yeah.
know. He's been the star performer game after game after game for Aston Villa, for England. I mean, even after this, again, we don't want to go against his wishes, but if he wishes to move and no club comes in, it's really a disgrace, to be honest. I mean, you cannot prove any further how good you are.
And especially my question intended with the performance that we saw in the international break that he played for England, and then proved Southgate wrong for me.
Yeah.
He was not picked initially,
Exactly.
and the performance that he's giving, and I think he's too big for Aston Villa as well.
Yeah.
The performance that he's making, and somehow the entire team looks a totally different team which was playing last season.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, right? I mean, you remember, right? And we've spoken about this, that, we probably will see Aston Villa being relegated, but we were so wrong. We were so wrong. The way they have been playing, it's I think obviously I don't want to take anything from other players, but the Grealish has been their playmaker, or he's been their main man, to turn up for every game.
With this, guys, we are ending our podcast. Thank you so much, Karthik, for joining. We are excited about Premier League coming back, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye bye, guys.
Cheers.